Hello, everyone. Meghan Markle's recent return to the spotlight with her Netflix show With Love, Meghan is definitely making waves. But let's be honest, this isn't about showing off her skills or giving us anything meaningful. It's about grabbing attention, about her need to stay relevant, even though it's clear her star is fading. This is Meghan's well-planned PR move, her way of proving she's more than just Harry's wife. But the reality is, that's all she is. Meghan Markle doesn't have much without her link to the royal family. Here's the twist. She's trying to convince us that she's just a laid-back California girl with gardening tips and celebrity chats. But let's not forget, she was once a glamorous duchess, living the high life with the royal family, soaking up the perks of her marriage to Prince Harry. And after stepping away from the royal spotlight, her attempts to reinvent herself feel a bit ironic. Meghan Markle quickly turned to Hollywood, eager to show off her newfound fame and wealth. Now, she's pretending to be someone she's not again, with gardening and cooking. But let's be clear, Meghan isn't doing this out of a true love for these hobbies. She's doing it because she believes it will make people forget who she really is. A social climber and fame-hungry opportunist who's always used her royal ties to get ahead. The level of fakery here is off the charts. Meghan has created a persona so far from reality, it's almost laughable. She's always trying to make herself appear like this enlightened, self-made woman, as though one day she just decided to change the world. But that's not the full story. Everything about Meghan Markle is part of a well-thought-out PR plan, from her perfectly staged Instagram photos to her random hangouts with people like Oprah. It's all part of the act. She wants us to think she's this warm, relatable person who's just like everyone else. But let's not be fooled. Meghan is a master manipulator, and she knows exactly what she's doing. The fake smiles, the rehearsed conversations, the constant virtue signaling, it's all meant to make her look good and create an image of the perfect woman who's just like everyone else. But in reality, she's a calculating, self-serving celebrity. Let's talk about her hypocrisy for a moment. Meghan constantly preaches about authenticity and being true to yourself. But how can she be authentic when her entire persona is built on lies and contradictions? She's someone who built her career by pretending to be something she wasn't. She entered the royal family as a Hollywood actress with a carefully crafted image, playing the part of the perfect, dutiful wife. But behind closed doors, she was nothing more than a self-centered woman, hungry for fame and validation. She's a walking contradiction. Someone who wants to be both a royal and a celebrity, but doesn't want to face the consequences of either. Meghan wants the glamour, the fame, and the money, but she doesn't want to put in the work. When things get tough, she runs away. This is the Meghan Markle we're dealing with, someone who wants it all without actually making the effort. She wants the perks of royal life without the responsibility, the attention without the scrutiny, and the fame without the hard work. Now she's presenting herself as a gardening expert, hoping to convince us that she's more than just a woman who married a prince. But honestly, she's not fooling anyone. Meghan Markle is a joke, and her desperate attempts to reinvent herself are painfully obvious. Her PR team is working overtime to try to make her seem like a philanthropist, a woman of substance who genuinely cares about the world. But where was that passion when she was part of the royal family? Where was her sense of duty when she was living in luxury, pretending to be a working royal while jet-setting around the world? Where was her dedication to the public when she was too busy throwing tantrums and complaining about her life behind closed doors? Let's be clear, Meghan Markle is not a victim. She's not some misunderstood soul trying to find her voice. She's a woman who has used every opportunity to further her own agenda, making herself more famous, more powerful, and more relevant. If that means throwing away her royal title, so be it. What really gets under my skin is how she plays the victim while also trying to present herself as some kind of guru. Her entire public persona is built on the idea that she's a self-made woman, someone who pulled herself up by her bootstraps and overcame the odds. But the truth is, Meghan Markle was never struggling. She wasn't an average woman trying to make it big. She was an actress on a hit TV show. She married a prince. She's had every opportunity handed to her on a silver platter. And yet, she acts like she somehow earned it all. It's pathetic. The audacity of Meghan Markle knows no bounds. She believes that by launching a Netflix show where she cooks with celebrities and offers gardening tips, she can somehow erase the years of lies, manipulation, and self-serving behavior. She hopes this show will prove that she's more than just a woman who used her royal connections to advance. But honestly, this show seems more like a desperate effort to stay in the spotlight. It's a PR move, a way for Meghan Markle to convince everyone that she's more than just an entitled, attention-seeking woman. And let's not even start on the outright falsehoods she tells about her relationship with the royal family. Meghan constantly portrays herself as a victim, claiming she was wronged by the very institution that gave her so much. She talks about the struggles she faced being in the royal family, the toll on her mental health, and how the media targeted her. But it's important to remember that Meghan Markle isn't some innocent bystander. She played a big part in this too. When Meghan married Harry, she knew exactly what she was signing up for. Yet, she acted as if the royal family should cater to her every desire. The truth is, Meghan Markle seems to want everything: fame, wealth, and admiration, but without facing the hard realities of being part of the royal family. When things got tough, she didn't rise to the challenge. Instead, she ran. Now, she's using the very royal connections she tried to distance herself from to build a celebrity career. Let's talk about her latest project, With Love Meghan, a show about cooking and gardening with celebrities. Credit where it's due, it's a brilliant PR move. The irony of Meghan presenting herself as an expert in these fields after only being known as the royal wife is hard to ignore. But what truly makes this show laughable is its entire premise. Meghan trying to appear relatable while crafting an image that's anything but. Cooking and gardening? Yes, those ever-so-humble hobbies are suddenly the keys to proving her authenticity in a world that's growing increasingly skeptical of her persona. And we're supposed to believe this is genuine? Please. Here's the reality. Every celebrity who graces her show is likely just another piece of the PR puzzle, carefully selected to reinforce this narrative of Meghan as a woman of depth. Someone rising above all the drama and controversy. But let's be honest, this is the same Meghan who has thrived on media storms and public feuds. Now, she wants to rebrand herself as a serene, sophisticated mentor, teaching people how to plant a garden or bake a cake. The irony is staggering. It's the perfect example of the disconnect between the image she wants to project and the reality of who she has shown herself to be. Meghan's delusion has reached hilarious new heights. Here's a woman who still believes she's breaking boundaries simply by stepping into a garden with a few Hollywood friends, like she's about to unveil some groundbreaking revelation to the world. The unfortunate truth? Everything she does feels painfully forced. From the way she talks about her plants to her exaggerated efforts to appear down to earth, it's all just another chapter in the Meghan Markle self-branding playbook. And let's be real. This is the most predictable move she could have made. Meghan's habit of curating these overly polished versions of herself isn't new, and honestly, it's getting exhausting. We get it. She wants to be seen as the ultimate influencer, the woman who has it all figured out. But in reality, she's only sinking deeper into the absurdity of her own making. She plays the "I'm just like you" card while raking in millions from a Netflix deal, one she secured through the very connections she pretends to distance herself from. The irony is almost too much, and frankly, it's insulting to anyone who's ever had to work for real success. Working hard for success is one thing, but let's talk about what truly sets Meghan apart. Her relentless need to be seen as an expert in fields she has absolutely no background in. Gardening? Really? Now she wants us to believe she's a horticultural guru? Meghan Markle struggled with the complexities of royal duties, yet here she is, positioning herself as the next Martha Stewart. Is this some kind of joke? The sheer audacity of branding herself as a lifestyle expert when her entire career has revolved around marrying a prince is beyond belief. And let's be honest, like everything else she does, this gardening segment is just another attempt to manipulate public perception, crafting an illusion of expertise where none exists. Speaking of perception, let's not ignore Meghan's ongoing use of the victim narrative as the foundation of her public image. It's truly remarkable how she manages to spin every situation, no matter how much drama she creates, into a story where she's somehow the one who suffers the most. Meghan's storytelling is always designed to evoke sympathy, and she's mastered the art of making herself the misunderstood heroine of her own saga, despite being the source of much of the drama. Her version of authenticity is nothing more than a well-rehearsed performance. But here's the problem. No one's buying it anymore. The "just a woman who wants peace" narrative has run its course. Maybe it's time to drop the act. Now, let's turn our attention to Catherine. The contrast between her and Meghan couldn't be more striking. Catherine is everything Meghan tries to be, but never quite achieves. Graceful, dignified, hard-working, and humble. She's not selling a lifestyle or crafting a carefully curated image to seem relatable. Why? Because she doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. Her work speaks for itself, whether it's her dedication to charitable causes, her commitment to raising her children with love and integrity, or her unwavering support for issues close to her heart. Catherine's actions, not theatrics, are what truly set her apart. Catherine doesn't need fanfare or a carefully manufactured narrative. She simply does the work. There's no desperate scramble for attention, no need to convince the world of her value. Meanwhile, Meghan operates in a constant cycle of self-promotion, always chasing the next opportunity to validate her inflated sense of importance. She's obsessed with staying relevant, drawing people into her carefully curated world of glamour and fame, while insisting she's just like everyone else. And let's not forget, every time Meghan talks about how free she is, she's doing so from the comfort of a multi-million-dollar mansion, a life funded entirely by the royal connections she supposedly left behind. This isn't freedom. It's privilege, an existence most people can only dream of, all while she continues to capitalize on the very status she claims to reject. What makes Catherine stand out in contrast is how she seamlessly balances her roles as a mother, wife, and royal, without ever seeking the spotlight. Catherine understands duty and service, while Meghan understands branding and promotion. There's a fundamental difference between the two, and it couldn't be clearer. The contrast couldn't be more obvious. Catherine isn't chasing Instagram followers or negotiating million-dollar Netflix deals to promote her personal brand. Instead, she quietly makes a real impact, working behind the scenes to change lives. Meanwhile, Meghan's idea of making a difference involves carefully staged meetings with celebrities or garden parties designed for the cameras. Catherine leads by example, inspiring others through action, not by constantly reminding the world how wonderful she is. And that's the most frustrating thing about Meghan, her relentless need for validation. Everything in her life feels like a PR campaign. She doesn't seem content unless there's an audience watching, unless she's the center of attention. This is why every project she touches, every cause she claims to support, ends up feeling more like an extension of her personal brand than a genuine effort to create change. When Meghan serves, it's never without a camera crew, a photographer on standby, and a perfectly crafted social media post waiting to go live. Let's not forget how Meghan constantly plays the victim. She's built an entire narrative around being the poor, misunderstood woman who had no choice but to leave the royal family due to overwhelming pressure and criticism. But let's be real. Meghan was never about duty. She was always about fame. She didn't step away from royal life to make a difference in the world. She left because she couldn't handle the responsibility. Now, she's trying to recast herself as the hero of her own story. The media isn't out to get Meghan. It's simply calling out the glaring hypocrisy in her actions, the disconnect between how she sees herself and how she actually behaves. And let's be honest, this victim complex isn't about overcoming adversity. It's about keeping herself in the spotlight. She wants to be viewed as the woman who defied the odds and proved everyone wrong, when in reality, she's just playing the fame game. As someone who has followed royal drama for years, I have to say, Meghan Markle's desperate quest for relevance is reaching new levels. Meghan's desperation has reached new heights. Let's be honest, her entire existence after marrying Harry has been one long, drawn-out performance. No matter how many roles she plays, the act always falls flat. She can put on any show she likes, but the real problem is that she just can't seem to get out of her own way. It's both embarrassing and, frankly, exhausting to watch. Take her latest attempt at proving she's more than just Harry's wife. Her Netflix show With Love, Meghan. Is this the groundbreaking revelation we've all been waiting for? Her grand vision of herself as a celebrity gardener and lifestyle guru? Let's just take a moment to appreciate the sheer comedic irony. She's using a platform she only has because of who she married to prove that she's not defined by her marriage. It's like trying to escape the shadow of an elephant by standing next to a mouse. The logic just doesn't add up. But should we really be surprised? Meghan's entire public persona is built on contradictions and performative authenticity. She wants to. Meghan wants to seem real and relatable, but in reality, she's as transparent as a sheet of saran wrap. Gardening tips, cooking sessions with celebrities. Who is she fooling? Certainly not the people of the United Kingdom, who have watched her for years and seen the same exhausting cycle of self-promotion. The only thing she's truly cultivating is her endless need for validation. Meanwhile, across the pond, there's Catherine. And if we're talking about genuine admiration, let's be clear. The people of the UK trust Catherine. They've watched her evolve from a young woman under media scrutiny to a future queen who carries herself with dignity and poise in everything she does. There's something refreshing about someone who doesn't need to manufacture their worth, create an illusion of relevance, or constantly beg for attention. Catherine quietly does the work, creating real, lasting change with grace, never pretending to be something she's not. That's why the British public sees her as a symbol of stability, while Meghan flails in a desperate bid to build a brand on borrowed credibility. Meghan leans on celebrities and carefully curated narratives, while Catherine takes meaningful action. Whether it's her charity work or her role as a mother, Catherine remains grounded. She doesn't need a Netflix show to prove her worth. She's already earned it through hard work and dedication. Every step she takes is marked by humility, a sharp contrast to Meghan's every move, which seems driven by narcissism and desperation. And here's the truly laughable part. Meghan actually believes she's fooling people into thinking her success is the result of anything other than her royal connections. It's the world's worst-kept secret. Without Harry, she'd still be a little-known actress on a forgettable TV show. Yet somehow, she's convinced herself that she's a trailblazing force in Hollywood, starting with gardening tips no one asked for. It's almost painful to watch her try so hard while the world remains unconvinced. The UK certainly isn't buying it. Meghan's act is as transparent as ever, and at this point, it's beyond predictable. Meghan believes that by adopting the persona of the perfect, humble housewife with a celebrity garden, she can convince people that she's more than just a self-promotional machine. But the public sees right through it. No one needs another influencer. The royal family's legacy wasn't built on chasing fame or selling out for sponsorships. It was built on service to others. And no matter how much Meghan tries to paint herself as a self-made success, she'll never truly understand that. Now, let's talk about the audacity it takes for Meghan to put out content like this while claiming to be above the very royals she left behind. She peddles the narrative that she's no longer defined by her royal status, but let's not kid ourselves. The only reason anyone cares about what Meghan Markle is up to is because of her title. Without Harry, she wouldn't have millions of followers today. Right now, she's nothing more than a footnote in royal history, and deep down, she knows it. That's why she's scrambling for any opportunity to elevate herself. Meghan is desperate to make herself seem like she has actual value. Let's not forget how often she throws around the term freedom. She claims to be living her best life, free from the pressures of the monarchy, doing things her way. But is it really freedom if every move you make is under the scrutiny of cameras? If every meal, every interaction is staged for the public's benefit? That's not freedom. That's fame. It's the very thing she claimed to escape, yet now she's more entangled in it than ever. What's truly laughable is that Meghan has somehow convinced herself her path is revolutionary. She believes she's leading in ways Catherine never could, that her lifestyle advice carries more weight than anything the royal family offers. But she's dead wrong. Meghan's idea of leadership is nothing more than selfishness and self-interest, dressed up with a shiny bow. Meanwhile, Catherine's leadership is defined by service, by prioritizing others, and making the world a better place without needing to shout about it on Netflix. And let's not forget, when it comes to Catherine's relationship with the public, the British people trust her. They know that when Catherine says she'll do something, it's not just empty promises. She doesn't need to stage performances or manipulate the media. She simply gets the job done, day in and day out, with grace and dignity. Meanwhile, Meghan continues to play the role of the misunderstood woman, convinced that every tabloid headline is another attack on her. In reality, it's the world waking up to her carefully crafted public persona. Catherine doesn't need Netflix to stay relevant or chase fame and fortune. She's a woman of substance. Meghan, on the other hand, is constantly chasing the next big gig, the next headline, the next opportunity to sell a version of herself to the highest bidder. The British public sees right through this act, and while they may not say it outright, they know who truly deserves their admiration, and it's Catherine every time. If you enjoyed this breakdown of Meghan's antics and Catherine's unwavering grace, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Meghan's trying too hard? Or is she onto something? Don't forget to subscribe for more royal drama and insider insights. See you in the next one.